What's going on, guys? This is KNasty3090 here. Welcome back to an episode of the Baltimore Orioles franchise, episode number 8. We are in year 2021, July 19th. We are 4.5 games out of first somehow. We're not a good team. Our run differential is actually negative. We shouldn't be this good. We are currently second wildcard team. And I asked you guys in the last video, should we buy? Should we sell? And it was really like a mixed bag. We had a really good draft. We got 2 A's, a couple high B's, several low B's. So, we really do have a good farm system coming in. We got some good young players. I'm kind of torn right now what to do. I think I don't want to just, go nuts in a prospect. But one of you guys mentioned was because Moncada's on the block, was trade for Moncada and trade Mountcastle for him. As you can see, he's 25. He's got the 80 potential. He's an 82 overall. This year he's in 287 with 15 jacks, a 4.4 WAR. He already does have 4 years of service time, so he might be kind of expensive soon. But let's see if we can get a trade to work surrounding Mountcastle. So there's Mountcastle, who's only a year younger, and he's 7 overall worse. And this year he's only hit 220 with 6 home runs. So what do they want? They want catchers and first basemen. We do have Zapata, but I do like him. We do have Rivera, who I like him too. And those don't even really move the needles. I'm not going to trade Bradley. They also want closers. We actually do have some closers, but that doesn't really get the deal done. What about some starters? Mitchell White has really struggled so far in the majors, but that doesn't really move the needle. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we can get this deal done. Hunter Harvey doesn't move it that much either. Let me think. Who could I include? I'm not including Phillips. Diaz wouldn't get it work. Bradley Zimmer would, but I don't want to trade Bradley Zimmer. Trey Mancini would get it to work. Now, Mancini has been a 25 to 30 home run guy most for his career. But right now, he's really not doing so much. He's hitting 257 with 9 jacks. If I do this, I'm going to need to get an outfielder. He does have a very team-friendly contract, but he's already 29. I might do that. We trade Hunter Harvey, who I'm not too high on. We trade Mountcastle and we get Moncada. I'm going to do that. We're going to have to find another outfielder, but I feel like we didn't risk the future, and we got someone young. Now, we're not sure how long we can control him. I'm going to try to send him to a long-term deal this offseason. Now, we do need to get another outfielder. Right now, we have Zimmer and Diaz. Now, Phillips is in the minors, but I want him to continue to play down there. So, let's see if we can find a guy who would be a 1-year rental, who wouldn't be that expensive. Or maybe a guy like Brandon Nemo, he's really struggling. Polka, really good power, has 18 jacks. Laureano's an amazing fielder, has a great arm. And that may not be the worst thing. He shouldn't cost too. Oh yeah, he might cost a lot. They want relievers. Miguel Castro, how's he doing this year? He's still in the minors, but that doesn't really move it that much. Maybe trade a guy like Jomar Reyes, he's a nice kid. Nothing crazy. That almost gets it to work. Now, Laureano is not a rental by any means. You know who would be a great guy to get, actually? Would be Chris Davis. Not the bad Chris Davis. Now I know JD Martinez is out there, but that wouldn't really make much sense because he's not a rental too. He'd cost a lot. Let's Chris Davis, the good one, the one who hits 247 every year. So he's on the Padres. He's in 253 with 21 home runs. Not a ton. They want catchers, first and second baseman. Austin Wins gets the deal done alone. Okay, now he is currently our backup catcher. Who is their backup catcher? I'll take Arvisit Perez back in the deal to be our backup. We do have Will Banfield. I guess we do have Brockmeyer. We'll just call it Brockmeyer, but we get Chris Davis. And I think that really helps our team. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Did we give up a lot? I don't think we did. Now, there's one more move I kind of want to think about making. And what that is getting another starter. Because we're having some really bad play with Mitchell White. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send him down. I'm going to call up Blaine Knight. He has a 1.93 ERA in AAA. He's a 25-year-old pro. I don't even know if you want to call him a prospect. He has a B potential. Let's call him up. Add him to the 40-man. See how he does in the show. So I feel like right now we are still young. We didn't really risk the future. And, yeah, we're still doing pretty good. So I'm excited to see what happens moving forward. So the big thing I want to do is put Chris Davis and Moncada in this lineup. So Moncada and then Chris Davis. So I'm going to move Moncada up to 2. And then Chris Davis can be 4. And I really think that helps out our lineup a lot. Oops. Let's just fix that. And then switch those around. Put you there. And put you there. All right. Chris Davis is always just a really, like, a fun card. Not card, fun player to use. Because he always hits bombs. All right, so let's see how we do now. We should be ranked a little higher. 21st, but we're 6th in power, so we're a big power team. We still, like I said, we didn't give up any of our big prospects. Like Rossiter's not gone. We didn't trade Mike Phillips. I don't think we traded any top 50 prospects, really. Maybe Hunter Harvey might be one, but I'm not high on Hunter Harvey. I'm really not. And then Mountcastle hasn't really played well. And then the backup catcher we traded for Chris Davis, I thought was a steal of a trade. Now, I bet you Chris Davis is going to get injured before, like, the day after. Oh, my God. Bradley Zimmer's out for a fractured shin for 1 to 2 months. All right. So, $1 million question is, what do we do with this? Now, it's before the trade deadline. We're only 3 games behind the Yankees, and we're the number 1 wild card team. Let's take a look at how players are doing in the minors. So, Mike Phillips is in 300 in AAA. Oh, it is really tempting to call him up. Joe Gray's hurt. He would have been an option. Jordan Adams hasn't really done great in AAA. Neither is Fernando Hernandez. And he's really a defensive-minded player. Defensive and speed. Seth Beer in AA is doing okay. Gonzalez. This is tough. Do I call up just Hernandez? You know what? We get a good defensive guy in center field. He's not going to hit. Do we call up Mike Phillips, who can hit? There's good defense, but it may stunt his growth. He's only 19. I'm calling up the kid. And it's like, you know what? I was going to call him up maybe next year. We're just going to call him up now. The thing is, he has to play right field. Can Diaz play center? Okay, he can. So, Mike Phillips. Do I have him? I'm going to try him leading off. I'm putting the kid right into the fire. Let's have him lead off. I mean, he's got pretty good contact. He's going to be a good fielder in right. The only thing is speed, but you know what? That's fine. So let's see how we do. So let's see how he did in his first game, shall we? Usually don't do this, but let's take a look. He went 3 for 4. Did he hit a home run? He did hit a home run. The kid might be here to stay. All right, let's make sure they didn't screw up our lineup with the Bradley injury. It doesn't look like they did. Okay. We might make the playoffs. And we haven't won since. But we won 3 out of 4 against the Yankees. That was big. All right, big road trip here. If we can go like 500 during it, that'd be swell. I think we did. So let's see where we are. We're 74 and 61, I think it said. We're 4. I don't understand it. We are still a negative 20 run differential. And we're the number 2 wildcard team, but we're 4 games up on the Stros, and we just played them. This is ridiculous. Phillips has moved up to number 10 prospect in baseball. He's in 224. He went 3-4 the first game. Hasn't done a whole lot since. Rossiter's at 6. He looks to be really freaking good. How about anyone else? Anyone shooting up on this board? Nigel Aragon is starting to really improve. He's only 19. He was a big wild card prospect, but he's improving quite a bit. And where was that other guy we got who was like the big wild card? Not Grayson Rodriguez. It wasn't Seth Myrick. I'm trying to look at his name. I want to look. Yeah. I want to say he was a center fielder or nope. Was it Urbina? No, because he's 20. I think. Oh, I know who it was. It was Zabata, who's actually improving quite a bit. He's like a +3 at everything. So another kid who's doing is moving up. We're gonna have a really good farm system. Well, maybe not because like Phillips is not going to be a prospect for much longer. Actually, we're playing Houston now. We lost 2 out of 3. Do we play them again? Probably not. Bradley Zimmer's back. So here's a $1 million question. Phillips is in 250. He's still improving his overall. I mean, his overall's going up, but his potential's going down. How is we could. Greg Bird's hitting all right. 25 home run, 17 home runs, 255 average. So right now they move Zimmer there. Who'd they take out? Diaz, who's in 269 with 20 home runs. I actually like Diaz. So let's put him here. I'm going to do this. The thing I like about Zimmer is he's an elite fielder. So he gives you value, and he gets on base. So I'm going to have him lead off again. But I'm going to move Phillips to play versus right-handed pitching. And then I'm going to have Greg Bird versus left-handed pitching as a DH. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's do this. And versus left-handed pitching. Greg Bird will stay in there because Greg Bird has great power versus left-handed pitching. All right. And who knows, maybe there'll be an injury with Chris Davis or one of the guys, and then all of a sudden, I mean, I'm really happy with Diaz improved his power versus lefties +8. His discipline went up +10. Very good year for him. So right now we're 4.5 behind the Yankees. I'm not sure we're gonna catch them, but we are the #1 wildcard team, and the Rays are really the team that are the closest to us, and they're 7 back. I think we're gonna do it. As long as we don't implode. Actually, we play the Yankees. Okay, we just won 2 out of 3 before against them. We're 4 games back. 4.5. So if we sweep them here, we have a slight chance. We did. This is ridiculous. We have 90 wins. We're a game behind the Yankees. We have clinched a playoff spot. That is ridiculous. Our run differential is now positive. We pitch really well. And I think Phillips is no longer a prospect, so he's not there. He might get Rookie of the Year, probably not. So we finished at Oakland. We're a wild card team. We won 91 games. We are a wild card team. We missed the division by 1. But I'm still happy. Look at the Yankees, and they had freaking Trout. I'm very happy with this year. Let's take a look at the lineup. So Zimmer, he didn't play a full year. Played only 109 games. 11 home runs. He gets on base. 358 on base, so the average isn't high. But look at the on base percentage, 358. That's what I like. His OPS was almost 800, which is a career high. His WAR was 3.5, which is basically half his whole career. So I like that about him. He's a good defensive center fielder. Moncada, 267, 24 home runs, 354 on base. Another guy who gets on base. OPS of 830. His WAR was 6.2. That's elite. Bogarts had like an MVP type year. 29 jacks, a career high, 195 hits, 332 average, a 425 on base, OPS of 964. His WAR was 9.2. Chris Davis, 240 average, but 35 home runs. That's what I wanted to see, just a guy to hit a home run when we need it. Bobby Bradley, he kind of had a breakout year, 289 average, 371 on base, 25 home runs. That's really good. Diaz, we looked at him before. His power versus left went up to +11. His contact versus left went +10. He hit 271 at 345 on base, 23 jacks. Also stole 16 bags. Joey Bart, a 240 average. Not great. 12 home runs, 301 average. His WAR was negative, but he's only 20, was he? 23. Mike Phillips, like I said, 261. He improved a ton. He's now a 75 overall. 261 average, 312 on base, 427 slugging. Not great, but not bad. I mean, he only had 199 at-bats. I just don't know what to do next year. Do we just not keep Chris Davis? Or do we put him at DH and then we move on from a guy like Greg Bird? I don't know. We'll figure it out next year. And then Sierra, second baseman. I mean, 236 average, 301 on base. He hit 9 home runs, stole 20 bags. He's now a B potential. I think he was a C potential before. Pitching-wise, Maeda was our de facto ace, 4.13 ERA. Burns at a 4.55, Bundy at 3.66, Rasmus at 3.27, and then Blaine Knight, once we called him up, he pitched great, a 3.34 ERA for the kid. That's very nice to see. Bleer was great. I mean, catcher barely pitched. Holder was really good in 99 and 2/3 innings, a 2.35 ERA. Paul Fry was great. Winkler was good, and then Brad Hand was amazing. Only 24 saves because he wasn't the closer for most of the year. If you remember, it was Winkler who had 30. Then I moved him because Hand was so dominant. And he was. He should be reliever of the year. He's on 97 overall. He is a free agent at the end of the year. Some of you guys were saying to trade him. I mean, we are in the wildcard game. We may lose, and then we can only get like a draft pick if he leaves. But I'm still okay with it. Rossiter is now the number 6 prospect. Now, obviously, Phillips has exhausted his prospect eligibility. Aragon is now at 28, and he could be a big riser. I could see him by the end of next year being a top 10 prospect. He could shoot up this board. What else do we got here? Grayson Rodriguez is at 43, and that's it. Now, we do have the guys that we drafted. They are going to show up on this soon, too. Let's take a look at awards. Jose Ramirez got MVP. All right. And Rhys Hoskins. Bauer and Chris Sale got Cy Youngs. Altuve and Josh Bell got batting titles. Really, Herrera got reliever of the year, and David Robertson. Rookie of the year went to Bubba Starling and Henry Ramos. Mike Trout, Hank Aaron. Let's see, what awards we get. Gold Glove was Joey Bart and Bobby Bradley. So we got 2 Gold Gloves. Who is Victor Reyes? Yeah, looks pretty good. Any Silver Sluggers? Maybe at 3rd with Moncada. Oh, obviously Jose Ramirez. Yeah, never mind. That's probably it. Yep, so no Silver Sluggers, but we are in the playoffs. I want to take a look at like the team rankings. Where did we do damage? I feel like batting average, we probably weren't too high. We're 14th. Runs, we're probably top 10. Top 15? 15th, there we go. I bet you home runs were probably relatively near the top. Or not. 14th, we're kind of right in the middle. I bet you stolen bases, we were 4th. Stolen base percentage, we probably weren't that high, actually. I feel like we don't have a lot of guys who are great at that. 8th, actually. Base on balls, 10th. If you take a look at on base percentage, we're probably pretty good. Maybe not 12th. I think it was kind of fluky. Our fielding percentage, we were 5th. So good defensive team. ERA, we were 7th. But let's just take a look at American League only because National League obviously has an advantage. And we were 2nd behind the Indians in American League ERA. That's probably why we were doing really well. I feel like our bullpen was amazing. Our starting pitching wasn't great. So we're going to be playing the Oakland Athletics. The winner of that game will face the Cleveland Indians. So next episode, we will be in the playoffs. Now, if we lose that wildcard game, we'll just do the offseason that episode as well. Hopefully, we can win that game, face the Indians, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, we made the playoffs year 3, guys. Big jump, 52 wins, 62 wins, and then 91 wins. It'll be fun to see how we do in the playoffs. I'll see you guys in the next episode, guys. Take it easy. Peace.